Hello everyone and welcome back to this best of 11 series between Kick and Raphael. We're going to finish off the last games of this series now. And it seems that Raphael, because I'm pretty sure Kick won the last two games. Well, last game I can't even remember. But anyway, whoever it was, they've picked Raiders. So we're here on Raiders. And Raiders, if you don't know, is when the workers are all spread out across the map at the start. You don't have a command center and you don't have a scout. So you have to pick your location of where you're going to build your command center. So you might want to choose an area that's got abundance of resources because they're just randomly scattered throughout the map. So we can see that Raphael has chosen his location here. Right next to a decent coastline here, there's some shorefish that you could get onto, which would be really nice until you get your shipyards down. And there's a hell of a lot of carbon. The difference here though is that Kick's got tons of ore, tons of nova. There's a dewback, there's two over here. There's some more ore as well. And there's a nice little location where you can sort of maybe wall into and build things here as well. And leave this as the sort of front part of his base. It's very interesting that they built so close to one another, since they've got the whole map to themselves. But we'll see what comes of it. And I'm going to speed it up because, hell, they don't start with command center. It's going to be much, much slower. There seems to be a group of EOPs between the two players, and Raphael's going to drop a food processor there and start eating those rather than go for the shorefish over here. Which is quite a walk from his command center, and it's going to be very near. I mean, they're about the same distance, I would say, almost. I think Raph's actually a little bit further away. So Kick's very close to this. So we're going to maybe see what's going on here. And as I've got to say, both civs are Wookiees. So Wookiees are a decent civ with a well-rounded series of balances, or strengths rather. And since you don't have a scout, you have to build a medic here, and use the medic to scout around the map. So that's Kick seeing the dewbacks here now. You should really be getting onto those. There would be some value, I think, in some like trooper recruit rush here, given the distance and the fact that Raphael is dependent on these EOPs. Kick's now seeing these. What he could do, which would be interesting, if he just killed all the EOPs. Yep. So you're just going to kill them so that they start decaying. You can see the food just dropping down one at a time. He's putting a prefab shelter there, just keep an eye on things. And he's also putting another one down. I'm not sure he needs to be building two at a time. That looks like a man about to get housed right there. 3 workers building a prefab. I'm going to bring the speed down just a little bit in case there's some sort of shenanigans going here. There might be some interesting nuances. It's interesting that they've gone all the way over here for these shorefish. What about these? You know of them, right? No? You're just not scouted? Not bothered. Because they're so beautiful. Those 3 there. Wonderful. Move it back to Kick. So the dewbacks have been munched down. The last one here, I think. Oh, some nurse here found by Raphael. I think Kick's got about 4 or so. And he's going to be dropping a troop centre. So what he can do is actually just get on the mountains because he's already got the nursery. This game could be over quite quickly, to be honest. Raphael's workers are just so overextended for him getting mounted. You can see the mountie being queued up. There's no power core yet, but it still will build. Just a lot slower. But you can maybe get it to like 70-80% of the way there before you build the power core. Which is a way to do now. And he's going to be way ahead just because of like the efficiency of the dewbacks. There's very little downtime with them. You can bring them right next to the command center. You know, your guys are not walking over here and then walking back, walking over here and walking back. Sometimes doing trips where they're not even getting a lot of food because the thing's only got 140. And the first mountie is out. Raphael has sort of paid attention though. Like he's got his carbon line right on his command center, so he should be very safe from the mounties here. It's the workers that are out here shore fishing. They are kind of out of the way though that you might not really notice. But pressure could build up, and the nursery can definitely be killed if you attack from this sort of side. That's something to do while being idle here. Seems to be trying to delay the troop centre, just to get ahead. Kick on his way to T2, Raf is nowhere close either. It's just a sheer difference in food. There's even these fruit bushes that Kick's long distance mining as well. And he's put 5 on ore, so I'm thinking he might just go and build turrets now. And just use them to contain Raphael here and just basically bully him, push him in to knock him off the carbon line. See the 2 workers coming over. He has hit T2 now, so they should be sneaking around, I imagine, around the carbon to get a turret placed. And like the whole strength of Raphael's base right now is that the command center is next to the carbon. The turrets could knock him from mining carbon next to the CC and have to go to somewhere else where he'd be more vulnerable. Kick has gone heavy mounties here, but he has lost them. He's still only got 1 troop center as well. He's putting 2 prefab shelters here to try and prematurely wall out. I think he can only get 2 workers around it like this. Raphael has noticed though. Kick could wall himself in, I think, with another house. Or house and a light wall. Which he should be doing, but he's let the worker in. And he's let the worker push his other worker out, but the turret does go up, it's fine. He's not finishing this. They could have done it. He's at least blocking some of these. It's a lot of idle and downtime though. It's going to take a while for them to bash this down because they can only get 2 onto it. Which should give Kick time to do what he wants to do. They do kill the turrets kind of fast though. This really could have been horrible if he just finished the wall. Such an easy one though, he could have done it prematurely and just waited, cancelled it later and got the workers out. Looking at Kick's eco, he doesn't really have any food income, so it's amazing to see people not fishing on this map. Especially if they're going to be trapped in T2 like this. Because it's like having 2 extra command centers. It's incredible. It's a food processor here for some shore fish for Kick, but that's way too many workers for this. You can get 3 round them max. Sometimes only 2. This guy, what's he up to? Ugh, he's managed. But he's not going to die really quickly. Could maybe go up here as well. Keep it going. Carbon processor. I honestly think they'd be both better to just drop shipyards. And just have everything on carbon. Wait, how did this happen? What? Did he just build another one? Oh, sorry, I missed that, but that's... It's like we just go into a different dimension where things worked out differently. I can't see though, he's got no vision. He needs to make a sentry post, I think. Because that can reach here. You can build a sentry post right behind it. So now the troops are out. There's this little hill that it can sit on and pressure here. He's got 500 ore. I'd like to see him build more turrets. Like build a turret here on the hill and then build another turret as you push. And crawl with the turrets. You keep him contained here in this area. Limit his space on the map. Make it really difficult. See Raphael getting a war centre now. Kick just bankrupting the map of any shorefish with his elite squad. These troops around here looking for any workers that might be shore fishing like he is. But really very, very little food income. Game's getting a little bit laggy. See, we've got the turret here. Just push for the turrets. I don't want to see. Let's go. Just delay the fight. What the fuck? Place a turret. Please. Thank you. Kick always with idle workers, even when he's turret rushing. War center here. That'll be great because what we can do is get the +1 range on the turrets. Just on a bloody sentry post here, so you can just see over. Imagine that's this. Oh, you can see. Alright. What's changed? Because it was totally not hitting us. Is this not in range? I feel like that's in range. Surely that's in range, that one there. Big trade here happening. Raphael just losing everything here. And then the turrets are going to get placed as well. I think it's kind of just going to spell disaster for him. Let's try to build his own defensive turret here. But the troops are on top of the workers now, and it's looking like he's just getting completely boxed in. His options are very limited now. There's no like safe ore for him to get either, like to build his own defensive turrets. And there's a resign, but for some reason there's watchers in the game that have not resigned, and there we go. That's GG. So Kick taking that game. Interesting one. Didn't really expect raiders at all. So we're now tied at 4-4. So that's 8 games down, 4-4. Potentially 3 games to go. We'll see what's happening. We'll go into the next game. Oh, for some reason I can't click. So we're back to desert, it would seem. Raphael has picked desert. Must be his home turf. The mighty deserts. So, nerfs. Some. Hunt. None. Crate dragon. Yes. ×3. Kick right up against the map edge here. And I felt a little bit better. Not too bad. There's some hills, there's a cliff. There's a nice carbon. That's alright. I like that. It's almost a lateral line. Kick's got an alright one. This is kind of cool. You could like wall off. You could do a really interesting thing here. If you walled like this and this, you could probably T3 like that. And you could hide farms around here. Yeah, I like that. The thing is, this nursery will be kind of exposed though if it gets mounted. It's really far though. I think this might be a T3 game. Because even the Nova, you can wall the Nova in, and you can just mine this like little patch here. And have your carbon workers around that, but I think that would be great. So Raphael munching down these nerfs. It's not too bad of a move. Kick on the other hand, maybe eat 1 or 2 and then get farming. It's the alternative. Does let him have the option of mounty rushing though. Whereas Raphael won't have that. He's gone for the full AoE 2 sheep bashing. Munching all the banthas. And the first farm being placed after the food processor. Be sort of in this area. Wish it was like here. Commit to the walling plan. It'd be so good. Just wall across the CC. And food processor down for Raph now, but he's just gonna eat them all. Shouldn't really make too much of a difference. We'll see how it works out. I think Raph should probably have like the better T2 time because he's getting a lot of this food just, you know, instantly. And at the same time, maybe has his military infrastructure up quicker as well. Because he's getting this food without investing carbon. Whereas Kick's going to be doubly invested because he's built a nursery and then he's got to build the farms as well to get his food income. So that's him only just getting his carbon processor down now. Whereas Raph's had his up for quite some time. No difference in the worker count, so nobody's really having any problems with that except Raph, who has managed to get himself housed as the Republic. That looks like he has finished one somewhere. Just in time for that. got Kick here. Maybe it was Kick. I can't bloody tell. It's weird. Someone got housed. It was terrible. Now, I hate this because you could just do this here and have more land. You know? You just wall it there and then you got all this stuff. Because that's so, you're denying yourself like an almost a full carbon line that would be so safe. It would be so beautiful. So this is just 2 houses. I love it. Also, you're making yourself more compact. And you're giving people an opportunity to put turrets here as well. Whereas if it's here, they can only really place it like here. And it doesn't cover as much. That's my thoughts on the matter. I really wish this base was abused to its full potential. I love it. Even this is nice though. Like, you get houses out here. It's just... It seems so easy to defend. Whereas in contrast with Raf's, it's just so open. It's good that he's put a house here, stop any troopers standing here in the future. It's the kind of things you want to think about. Troop centre being dropped here for Kick. And a troop centre for Raf now as well. This house not really connected. If you want to make it wider, get one here as well. Yeah, that's fine. Scout being annoying. For some reason, you shoot the farm, it makes the worker idle. What the hell is that about? Toxic. I think there's a little gap here. Ah, cool wall with the Nova processor. I never really thought about that. Trooper recruits marching across. So Kick looking to get on the aggression quickly here. Sort of send them around the map, and while they're walking across the map you can throw out the upgrade. Which will cause them to walk faster, do much more damage and be a hell of a lot better. Because recruits are bad, but troopers are not bad, they're okay. Kick scouting here, but he's going to lose his scout, but he does see his second troop centre is being dropped, but he's a bit behind him. So he's hoping that with this troopers that are now fighting a crate dragon, bad times, he could maybe do a bit of damage to Raphael here, but it's not looking like that's going to be possible. As they're both T2 now, and there's 4 troopers out to defend at home, so these units are really just going to do a bit of prodding and see what's going on. Assess how many units there are. Kick here getting housed. He's going to have to start building houses a lot more frequently now that he's pumping out 2 troopers at a time. Walking in here and seeing there's a lot of troops, which is not really a surprise considering the whole defender's advantage in that regard. He's built them up over time. Probably got about the same amount of troops, it's just that Kicks are wandering around. Raphael here has dropped 2 turrets and he's trying to cover his farms as well as the carbon here. Should be nice because this is more of the sort of vulnerable area. Finding a trooper here, just scouting things out, Kick pulling back a little bit. And both players just try to get their troops together and they're maybe just going to try and collide with one another and win that trade. Both building an okay amount of farms here. Kick floating a lot of carbon. Could maybe afford like another troop centre or some more farms or a war centre. Oh! They've traded. That was a bit sneaky. Didn't expect that. Where's my game time gone? So trade there and it seems like Raphael's come out on top. The worker is starting to run round a bit, he might want to expand the wall. Kick is reinforcing those troops though. But I think Raphael will be a little bit ahead. Just by a couple of troops it seems. But Kick again is going to be marching back towards him. Which maybe not the best idea considering he's just lost that trade. He's pretty much always creating a scenario where he's going to have less troops than Raphael. And if he does that too many times and Raphael counterattacks, he's going to lose. But he's trying to sneak in here. Maybe just go for economic damage. It'd be good if he can shoot these troopers for nothing. And if we can maybe run round and just terrorise the workers here. I'm going to shoot these. I'm just running around. He's killed 2 troopers and lost 1, but a lot of his guys are very low in health. He's not really built too much troopers at home. Raphael definitely ahead in the count. Next we're getting onto Ore now, so it looks like he's going to play a game with a lot of turrets. And maybe when he feels comfortable he might try to do a sort of base trade here with Kick. See, Kick is really starting to adapt to this whole right up against the edge of the map thing. With the way that the wall's forming around, protecting the farms in here. So maybe he feels a bit more emboldened for throwing his units out in the map. You say he's not actually built turrets as well, he's cut the turrets out. Which is kind of a good play to see. You can probably afford them now though. He's worried, but he might actually be able to just do a full wall, and it might be better to do so. We could just do a gate and walls, and then we won't need to worry about needing turrets. Could save that ore effectively. A war center being dropped. Already down here for Raphael. He's got +1 attack, just not got the armor yet. And it's probably going to go T3 this one. Unless something dramatic happens. See all these houses that are being built. They're not actually doing any walling though, but they are just sort of in the way to stop units if they're on patrol. And give advanced vision. But I kind of like to see them, you know, walling. Because later on it'll stop strike mechs. You should always be proactive with that, I think. Set yourself up to be in a good position should things go T3 and there's going to be strike mechs flooded into your base. Because these aren't going to stop them. They'll just let you know that they're there killing you. But you'd already know that anyway. So Kick getting onto the hill here. Very similar troop count now for both players. I think Kick's got a little bit more here. Both upgrades for Raph, but Kick still does not have armor yet. I imagine it's on the way. No, it's absolutely not on the way. That's interesting. It looks like he's maybe just going to try and kill farms, keep his troopers alive, and get T3 before Raphael. As you can see, he's dropping the buildings here. You know, he's not fully committing to a fight, and Raph doesn't want to fight either. Is Raph on his way? Raph's on his way now already. And Kick could press the button, but he doesn't have enough Nova, and he hasn't built a spaceport, and he's building it now. So, Raph's going to get to T3 before him here. That's interesting, killing his own wall. Just wants to take the fight with him. Another turret. There's going to be a lot of turrets here. Kick better hope he doesn't go for his patented 3 mech factories here, because they're not going to do too much damage if there's tons of turrets hitting the units. Does make the base very compact though. Bit like Kick's here as well. Sort of a lack of room. Kick's will be a bit nicer though, because his eco is like just a sort of nucleus, right? Everything that he adds on is just going to be on the outskirts of it. His eco is always going to be sort of protected here. Would really like to see that wall finish up though. Stop strikes running in. So Kick is pulling his troopers back. I think both players want to keep their troopers. They really fancy getting heavy troopers, I imagine. So Raph's gone T3. Let's check what he's doing in these troop centers. Strike mechs. Can't really afford a heavy trooper. You could get range though. Doesn't fancy it. Just gonna throw the strike mechs out. Maybe gonna see what you can do with the strike mechs, if you can kill the troopers or something like that. Not too sure. But he's gonna have to be very careful with them because these will just one volley them. There's just so many of them. Going for the airbase, so he's just gonna go for the double harass, the strike mechs in the airbase. And maybe just run the troopers in. Troopers could be a huge differential if he kills these off with like a fighter or some strike mechs. But let's see, as the first one arrives here, and Kick is now T3 as well. Just gonna nip back to Kick here. Kick as well, not getting any upgrades. He's got a lot of money though. Hell of a lot of money. Strike mechs are managing to run in because the wall's never been finished and standing around here on the outskirts. Doing a surprise. There's the one volley. Bam. So there is range being got for Kick here. Yeah, I kind of like to see both players upgrade the troops because they're Republic, and it's pretty much like the only unit they're good at, other than Jedi and air. So they're only good ground unit. No, well, they're barely good, but they can make them really fast, you know. So Raphael's getting Kick contained in his base here. Mech Destroyer here taking some damage. Don't want to be losing that lad. Not seeing any air as such. Kick has gotten the range here, which is going to make a huge difference in this fight because Raph hasn't gotten it. See how far they have to walk forward just to shoot, and then this air is going to flank the army now, so the troops just die really quickly, and then this is going to do huge damage to strike knights. It's a huge blunder here for Raphael to take that trade. I think he had so many troopers that upgrading them absolutely would have been worth it, even just the range. Now, heavy trooper dropping here for Kick since he's got so many of them alive. He's got the fighters to keep them alive from fighters, which would probably be what Raphael would rely on to kill these now. You can see these 4 fighters. Not sure if he's spied all of Kick's fighters yet, but he might overextend to try and kill these. It looks like Kick is almost going to maybe try and bait it out. Troops walking in now. Like, see, they can just one volley things. Here come the fighters though. And Kick's watching for this. You can tell by the movements. And he's going to click onto the units here. And he's going to clean up the fighters. And that's going to spell disaster for him here because there's no way to deal with these troopers now really. Other than just microing these strike knights. He calls GG. Because he's going to have the air on top of his workers now in his economy. And he just can't deal with that. He's just always behind. It's too much pressure. So GG on that one. That's Kick. Coming back and taking 2 games today already. So it'll be 5-4. So potentially only 2 games left. And we'll see how this goes. And we're on Hoth. Bloody Hoth. I've not seen Hoth in a while. Hoth, one of the locale maps. You know, the one with the Wampa. The Rebel Ice Base. Hoth. Looks like there's a couple of nerfs. There tends to be quite a few nerfs scattered around on this one, I think. Just, these are rocks everywhere. Super annoying. They don't look too hard to get a wall off though. Look at that cliff. That'd be really nice, right in the corner. Just have all that walled off. Be good times. And on the other side of things for Raph here, bases are always a little bit more open today. Nice flat area though there. It's not bad, that map. The carbons seem to be quite good on it. These aesthetically pleasing blue carbon rocks. So, only a couple of nerfs and Kick's built a nursery. That's like the only food though. They kind of set himself behind in that regard. At least he can mount, I guess, but he's going to have to eat them all, I think. Raph not falling for the same mistake here, and he's dropping his carbon processor now while he eats up all these nerfs. The Wampas are angry. They thirst for blood. So food processor here for Kicks. He's going to need to drop farms. Raphael should be doing the same as soonish. Kick just not wanting to eat his nerfs. But look at his command center. This isn't worth it. It's not worth it. We're going to end up 2 or 3 workers behind here, I think. Oh, this is stubbornness. Cure worker now. Damage is done now. 15 to 12 population. 3 workers behind at this point. That's huge. Dropping the farms now. These are only equivalent to like 1 worker. Barely 1 worker, I think. Oh! Nerd. He's killed his farm for the scout. Kick seems to be moving around in disbelief and now angrily garrison. I'm not even sure how that works. How much damage does a scout do to farms? This is 3. What? Is that freak timing or something? I don't know. Oh, another nerf. Just out in the corner here. I don't think there's any more. No. So Kick still doesn't have a carbon process. I guess his entire eco is just so chaotic at the moment. I think Raphael's just massively ahead here. Where are we at? Yeah, just 3 workers ahead. But there will be a good wall off, so I can maybe rely on the defensive layout to not die, since we're behind in this regard. Look at the difference in farms. Raphael's almost got double the farms at the moment, which means he's going to have a surplus of 200 food. Yeah. So you can just think about going T2 very soon. Nova process, I think he's just going to T3. It's not a bad idea, being this ahead. Kind of an awkward walk if you're rushing. Okay, so behind it, dude. Yeah, he's dropping the troop center as well. It's going to spell disaster for him to be rushing into this. Is he not scouting? I think his best bet is just to honestly T3 as well. Being really annoying here with the scout. Chasing the scout away now with Kick Scout. That's the building's going to be getting dropped here. Quite an interesting wall off here. Try to keep his workers tight and compact here. Turret being dropped as well. Troopers are going to take so long to get to him though. I think the only thing he's really going to suffer is his workers are going to get either killed or knocked off the Nova, but he's pulling them away. He's going to be okay, so he must be up. Ah, he's going to spaceport. Was he on? Yeah, 2 turrets. Has he been buying ore? Looks like he bought 100 ore. Oh, it looks like Kate's going to try and build a turret. A turret would be good here. Here. Considering he's like walled himself in, that'd be interesting. Some Wampas join at 3 Wampas? What? I would just lure that in, to be honest. These guys are dead. They're doomed. But there's a Wampa on the workers as well. They're going to bring that turret down. That turret being built here. It's not the best one though. These guys could help the worker out against the Wampa, or they could shoot the Nova processor. Raf is almost T3 though, and he's not really taking any damage. Except he's very afraid of this Wampa though. All these farm workers are like garrisoned. He's just getting his power quite. How's this Wampa gotten in? Why is this so chaotic? Like, this should be such an easy T3 win, I think. But for some reason, there's just Wampas slapping a farm and slapping his workers in his carbon line. You can shoot it with the turret as well. It goes in. How tanky are these things? They've only got 150 health. They're just like rancors. Right, he's got an airbase, he's got a mech factory, he's killed this turret because it was built there in the range of this one. And now Kick is going to have to turtle up. It's a bit like one of the earlier games in the series, one that was on desert where Kick sort of had to do the same thing. But he had a much easier base to wall, I think, in that game. Because there was that nice cliff. Right, things are looking fine for Raph now, so he can focus on being the harasser. These strike mechs are going to get onto the farms now. Kick's got 3 grenadiers to deal with this. There's no upgrades for the strike mechs, so the Grens should do a little bit better than usual. But it's just going to be a skill sort of matchup here on who can win out in that regard. Tends to favour the strike mechs though, because they can pick 2 of them with just 1 tap a grenadier. When you're not doing a lot of damage, it's going to get a little bit tricky when the fighters start getting involved as well. Needs to micro. Okay. Needs to go for these guys. It's good though, forcing your opponent to have to micro the strikes and babysit them, rather than focus on what they're doing at home. Kick again though, like with this 900 carbon. Get more farms here. We could do more walling as well. I think the walling is really what needs to be getting done. Needs to be prefab shelters, just locking up all this stuff. That air flying in here, try to kill a grenadier, getting killed by the anti-air troopers. But like 1,000 carbon, we can do so much more with 1,000 carbon. But instead we're building a spaceport right here, where we've already walled. And we don't even need it in a power core. Don't need HoloNet. So Raph can sit here behind the carbon line, and that'll be very difficult for the grenadiers to hit. I'm just going to throw the air around the side to prod. Because the buildings are actually going to grief the grenadiers from actually hitting these. But there's all this nice area as well. I could maybe just make a new carbon spot. If we walled this and made a new carbon spot, it'd be such an easy hold, I think. Because you could just essentially make it that the only way the strike mechs get in is going through the command center here, where the grenadiers will be positioned. I think Raph's going to try and go T4 here. Look how many he's got on Nova here. I think he's just going to go for a really, really fast T4 while Kick's just turtling here. Could be a quick win that way. Won't really be any counterplay for Kick because he's just going to be stuck making all these units. He's on his way to T3 now, but he's never going to feel safe for a while. And if Raph can take advantage of that time and get where he needs to go T3, or T4 rather, yeah, you can win out that way. Let's have a look at the resources. Just gonna need to build like a ton of farms right now though. Maybe like another 10, 15 farms or so. Could be that he's just kept this rally point and forgot about it. I've done the same thing. And then I look and I've got like 1 million workers on Nova that I really don't need. But we will see. Try to do a bit more harassing here with strike mechs. He killed a couple of workers. The Gren's just not wanting to take the trade. Kick is T3 now. Not built any of the buildings though. He's built this power core over here with a war center, making use of his 1 million carbon. And he's going to build a mech factory now. Oh, it's so sad. It's the wall here. You know about it. You know about it. Grab it. Stop. We need people to stop containing themselves like this. Just make it so difficult to expand out. God damn. A thirsty boy for Nova. We added on about 3 farms in the last like 5 minutes though. Oh, there's a secret CC here. Okay. So 7 farms. Need more though. This is too much. These hollows actually, this Republic. Their hollows should really be getting prioritised between these two players, I think. Raph especially with his psychotic Nova gain. Secret command center here for Kick. That's interesting. It'd be really nice to see this play out to him getting T4 and then making some troop centers here and just flooding them into the eco. That would be really interesting to see. Alternatively, you could make a forward here right now actually, which would be nice. If some like mech destroyers were made here and just like you know, like a push done. Well, Raph's just sort of keeping like strike mechs out in the map and thinking he doesn't have such things. It'd be an interesting play. But he's pulled his strikes home. I don't think they're that damaged. He doesn't need to repair them. I think he just can't be bothered microing them anymore. Wants to focus on what he's doing with his eco. Secret command center's up. So this wall has run its course. We could expand it out. Grab up more land. Just gotta treat the game like a zombie survival game. You're just always building walls. A lot of air building up here for Kick. Surprisingly not too much for Raph here. Just the strike mechs. A lot of farms are dropping now. So you're sort of linking these together. Coming here and harassing Kick's workers. He could be very sort of defensive though, he's got the turret. And then he's got the secret base. He's built an anti-air turret just in case it gets found with air. And he's moving his air out onto the map now. Can use that to harass Raphael. Out they go, and they're going to see this fighter. I think they did. Ignoring him. He gets onto that Nova, god damn. It's going to be a massacre. Ah, he does have enough fighters to defend though, but he's going to lose a few. It's like 7 workers. 8. 8 workers going down. Not a bad trade for Kick, effectively, because since he's killed 8 workers, he's put these both on half health as well. It's pretty good. Strike mech's running in here because Raph just feels he needs to make some sort of response to this. Do some damage. Actually run around here. Into the Nova, be interesting. Oh, he's not looking at his units. Kick could have taken a grenadier shot there, but didn't really notice. I am not sure where the game's going. Another airbase and a research centre. He's thinking about T4, but the food income not quite there yet still. Have a quick look at things. I'd do that. Okay, I did. Go ahead and click them there. So do have the first farm upgrade, I don't have the second one. We don't have Motivator 1 again. I thought something was a little bit off with his resources. Because he's got a lot of farms now, but like, there's not enough food. So we're missing Motivator. Still not getting it. And the second farm upgrade. Strike's trying to get in here and do a bit more damage. He's gonna surely feel a little bit. It'd be a bit weird to see this from Kick, you know? Like no command centers stretching out or no extra buildings and stuff. He's just compact in this area. But he does have this out on the map. Maybe bait you into thinking that you're so much further ahead than you are. So T4 on the way. I think there's been some selling of the the carbon, but T4 is on the way and he's got a lot of fighters built up, so this could spell complete disaster for Kick. Kick's nowhere near going T4. And he's actually pushing out in the map with tons of anti-air troopers and some mech destroyers. Put some pressure on, but these units are not going to survive too well if they're fighting T4 air. So you might have a little window to get some damage done. But there's a lot of Raphael's economy that's going to be protected. Because he's only going to really be able to stand in sort of one location and harass one area, which is probably going to be about here. You would move in past this CC and you maybe stand here and try and knock him off the Nova. But then there's all this that's still going to be mining, and then there's the air that's quite safe over here as well. No problem with his air here, but he doesn't want to take double his number. He doesn't want to take the trade. He's going to get backed up against the edge of the map here. Have a hard time running away from it. Getting hit by command centers, and the troopers are going to keep walking into the CCs as well. And Raphael's seen this weird base now, sort of giving it away by running there. Help to keep his fighters a little bit alive, but Raphael is T4 now. That's maybe why Kick's trying to kill the fighters. Take the count down, but it's going to be sweating buckets here now though, knowing that T4 air upgrades are on the way. And he just wants to stand on the Nova. It would have been great if there was a fort getting placed in here. Kick desperately try to get T4 himself now. Very likely been some market manipulation to get the resources for that. But what can he really do? I think he just has to go research center and advanced turrets. The upgrades are out now, the shields, the fast fighter. And he's just going to get on top of the units here. He wants these out of the way. Take the trade. He's built up some mechs as well that he can trade into. And then once this is gone, he'll be free to go and harass Kick. So since he knows he's winning that fight now, he just flies off. And Kick's still not yet T4. Research center down. He's going to drop the air bases and try to build up his own air, but it's going to be very difficult for him to match when he's not going to be mining for like the next 5 minutes. Where's all this Nova going to come from? These mech destroyers as well are going to be real trouble because he's not going to be able to commit anything to dealing with those. He'll be able to just sit and harass one area while the air camps another. Kick's hidden his fighters, but he just won't be able to afford everything he wants. He's got armor and shield. No fast fighter. No Nova now. And this is his only eco. Whereas if we look at Raph, tons of workers everywhere. Very far ahead. It looks like Raph's just searching for if there's any more secret command centers for him to shut down. Other than this one that he knows about. So fast fighter here and shields arrives. Raph hasn't actually built any other fighters, but he doesn't really need them. I wouldn't recommend you just go pure fighters anyway. What you could really be doing is getting a forward down now. Kick gonna come in and try and kill as much workers as he can and maybe just evade Raphael's. Now he could technically send his workers back to work, except that there's all these mechs now. And some extra fighters have been made by Raph now, just so he can kill these, and Kick trying to do the patrol into these with half the numbers though, and he's just gonna die. So, GG. Raph taking that game, so it's staying 5-5. So it'll go to the last game, game 11. to decide who wins this series. So let's go. Back to desert again. Kick things off with desert, finish off with desert. And what's the situation with this one? Some dewbacks, a couple of nerfs. Some EOPs, Great Dragons, yes. What a Ronto. Where's the Ronto at? Oh, right behind. This is bullshit. On a hill as well. This is Kick's worst nightmare. I won't be surprised if he's got basic training very soon. It is a little bit better because he's not behind Carbon. Carbon processor being dropped. Kick not actually going to house his nerfs for once. Just going to eat them. That's all fine and well. Dewback being lured here for Raphael. And his Carbon dropping as well. I hate this Nova, just right up against the Carb. It's a really classic, rubbish looking desert map. Look at the hills. Like, what is that? Kick's base as a whole. How fitting for his last game in the series. A hole with a unlurable Ronto as well. Dewback's been lured. Raphael getting his Ronto. The big boy, 400 food. Kick's still not looking to do it yet. Oh, that could be a nice wall though. You could make your troop centers here. It wouldn't be terrible. And just keep this as a choke point. You could get a turret, and you could mine the ore as well. I like that. I've seen someone do that in the past. I'm pretty sure I've seen Ilyak do that once. There's precedent. And then you just wall all this off, right? And then your opponent has to walk all the way around here. And you can wall this as well, eventually. Yeah, I like that. The best way to make use of this terrible, terrible bloody map. Raph, on the other hand, this is kind of good. You can wall here, wall here. I'm always doing it like a little bit too inwards though. Be a bit more ambitious. Then you could have all this safe area to Carbon. Yeah, you can wall into the Nova, and then this is like your entrance point to your base. Be nice. Swings and roundabouts for this map. So farm's dropping now as the hunt runs out, and it's not just enough food just to get people. Kick's going for it. Pain and suffering. Is he watching him? Is he just going to try and grief him while he does this? Be interesting. Oh, this lad's doing well though. Whoa, Kick. That is a Ronto anxiety right there. That bit getting walled. Still, I would love to see the like that. Get a bit more land. So we've got a food processor here, so you can hide some farms round up in this location. Might be able to just, go for the full wall. That'll be a nice safe area for his eco. Kick building the troop centre right next to the blooming command centre down here, down at the bottom of the hill. I don't like that. Getting bombarded by enemy troops. can just like fully wall, man. This is really cool. Maybe you don't even get the turret, maybe you just gate it. Gate it and wall everything. You set it up so only you can attack. The Ronto has been consumed. So Kick almost T2 now. Raph not hit the button yet. Surprised at that, since he had his Ronto a lot earlier. Hitting T2 now, but Kick's already T2. Whether Kick can take advantage of this remains to be seen. Still only one troop centre at the moment. He's fired out as much troopers as he can. The scout's going to lure these back a little bit in delay, but there's the trooper upgrade. He's going to get the range now. Can afford the second troop centre. Decent wall. Going to delay these a bit. It's not like he can just walk straight into the carbon line. I suppose he can walk into this one, but the command centre and the trooper recruits here, it's going to be a hard walk. That you can maybe go and harass the farms and just get a bit of scout information and work out the layout of Raphael's base and what you can be doing with it. Don't want to sit hitting the troop centre though. Let's go. Be proactive. He's dead. Oh, this is great. Since those recruits have to run into the command centre now, and he's killed 2 of them, he can get on top of here and maybe kill a worker or 2. 1. 2 workers, not bad. He's forced these turrets in like a really crap area as well. Like these are not these wouldn't be the ideal turrets for Raphael. There's no way. Now, I think Kick's throwing down a lot of farms, and I can't help but wonder if he's just going to try and T3 really quickly here, because he's not dropped a second troop centre. If he can wall as well, that would work. Where are you going? Is he checking? What is this slowness? What the hell was that? He just ground to a halt there. It's like he was walking through a swamp. It's Raphael getting some troops together. Warsight. He's going to be very turtleish though. And this could go to Kick's favour here if he notices and goes for the T3. Oh, I would just love to see this walled. It would save him so much hassle. So he's sort of building turrets and moving his units in position just expecting a counter attack. Still got his scout as well, he could be keeping an eye on him. Here's what looks like the start of a wall. How many farmers have we got? Yeah, we've got enough to like get to T3. Just need the buildings. Instead we're going for the troop centre. Interesting. What is this? Why not this? Why? It's almost the same length. Connecting here at one of the chokes that Kick could have walled. Crate Dragon's getting involved. Cliff just going to stop these units. Kick can take advantage of that a little bit if he hugs the left hand side. Not if he moves his units to the right though, because they're getting a bit of a shot. Well, these guys are taking some bad trades. Interesting. Maybe not on patrol. He does have like both upgrades, but he's losing that fight. So maybe not on the right type of patrol there. Kick's going to chase him around the map. Raph's fed up with that, he's just going to turn around and try and kill a couple more. Does have more troops out on the map here. Kick building a few, getting the war centre himself. This guy idle, quite a lot of idols if we look around. There's remaining troops running into some from Raph here. And I think more of Kick's gonna run to the depths, but it might just be a ploy, a distraction for Kick to get up here, but he's thought better of it and he's turned back round. He doesn't want to lose more troops. Not using both our troop centres here. I think he's maybe just going to think about the T3 now, yeah. Again, no Nova. Need a spaceport. We know about all these little gaps. So Raph is now marching across the map, coming through that area that he shouldn't be able to. Getting on top of the hill. He's going to have complete control of where he's going over here. Controlling both the ore piles. Kick's just going to turtle up and try to get to T3. As Raph is trying to get his way there. He's not quite got the eco for it yet. Kick was a lot quicker on getting those farms down. Kick try to sneak in here, take a trade on patrol. And Raph just looking to contain him maybe, but he's not really able to touch the eco so much. And Kick will be T3 soon. Not a lot of room for extra mech factories or anything like that, so he's building one over here, one new power core, where his troops are. And he should be able to sustain 2 mech factories, and that'll be a huge differential in these fights to come. So Raphael now getting all his troops together. Trying to take a trade with Kick here. Kick not going for any upgrades, so he could absolutely be getting the range. I think it could be just like that game from earlier. Definitely get the range. So many troops. So he's doing the trade, the strike mechs are going to get out here as well. Kick's messed up his patrol and run away. There's the turret helping out here, and there should be 2 more strike mechs coming out now as well, and then that's just going to be the end of this. Now he can now counter-attack with the strike mechs. As Raph desperately try to get some sort of wall around his base, which is not too hard to do if he just commits more than 1 worker to it. Two mech factories down, must be on his way now. Oh, he's already T3. Okay, that's fine. So he got T3 during that fight. The Kick now getting on top of him here with the strike mechs. And he's going to have a lot more than he does at the moment. 3 mech factories though. He's doing the patented Kick technology. Not finished the wall, but it is just like one sort of choke to get into the base. And the mech destroyers are going to do very well keeping the strike mechs out there. An airbase as well with power droid. Airbase is always good, just to force your opponent to make turrets and stuff like that. Kick going to be doing the same, but actual double airbase. So 2 mech factories, 2 airbase versus 3 mech factories, 1 airbase. And the strike mechs are really not getting anything done. See, these troopers have come in and tried to do some damage, but now the strike mechs flooding for Raphael here. And they're just going to clean them up so quickly. So Raph definitely going to be ahead in the mech count at the moment, it would seem. But he might end up losing the air superiority. Losing the skies here to Kick. And that's going to spell disaster for him when it comes to defending his base. He's dropping his own second air base now, but he's going to be behind in the count for a little bit. And air matchup can be very volatile when you're behind in numbers. And if you look at how distended these workers are, there's no way for them to get a command center near here. So if air comes, kills his air, gets on top of these, all these workers are going to die. And that's going to be huge, probably a game-ending blow for him. The only real spots for him getting a new command center is going to be like here, next to the Nova, probably about here. And then he's going to have to branch out and maybe grab up the ore, I think. This Kick coming in here, taking a trade. Oh, he's really mucked that up there. He almost tried to shoot at one of the workers. And he's losing his air numbers there, so Raph's going to be fine now, I think. Fire coming in here. It's like he's trying to really get on top of him and win that way, but no dice. Now, Kick doesn't have any mech destroyers. Oh, there's one here. Oh, he does. Okay. But they're all the way up here. Right. Raph sneaking in around here, but it's okay. These workers are actually busy doing something to be shot at. The Kick might want to pull these down. Some Grens as well, so he's maybe setting up to just wipe his army. He's trying to do what he did last game with the anti-air troopers. He's just going to make a big force and try to kill him that way. If he gets these strike mechs, it's going to be crazy. Crazy bigs. A couple are getting shot at, but they've done pretty well to kill off the Grenadiers. It's not a bad trade for him. Look on that Grenadier countdown as well. And Kick at the moment wanted to make anti-air troopers, not Grenadiers. So there's a command center there for the ore. Not got one yet for the Nova, so just on 2. Maybe won't bother. Maybe the next one will be out here. Let's Kick on the other hand, he's on 2 as well. Maybe a forward one would be good here. Forward and grab up the ore. Get this push going and then try and get some forts down maybe. Because this would be a great spot to control. Sort of push Raphael up against the map. So both getting their sort of mech armies together. Raphael moving out on the map now. Feeling a lot braver. His air here sitting on top of the hill, protecting this command center. And just branching out. And they're both getting a bit passive again. Seems to happen a lot. Having a little bit of a breather. Kick's going to need more command centers, I think. As is Raph. There's one here, that's fine. They're both thinking the same thing. Moving out at the same time. Raph's got a little bit more fighters though, maybe 3 more fighters? This Kick's going to get onto his workers here. Raph's going to pull right back though. That's state trade. He's looking at it and he's like, there's no anti-air there really. Could maybe do something with my fighters. Kick wants to take the fight, but he's got less. I think the real difference, he's got 2 anti-air troopers, that's it. Let's have some here. I feel like this almost becomes who wins in the air. Then you can maybe get some bombers and stuff and just control the movement of the enemy mechs that way. Forward though, fort, shield. Should really just focus on getting the fort first though. This would be really nice. If he gets the T4, you could just cannon from here really safely. He's going to have so much space as well, which is going to be so nice. Getting the artillery. Because that's what we'll want to build, right? Is the Wookiees. Since they can get that 12 range on the artillery, that's the sort of core units army you want to build. Sit that behind shields. And whoever can get ahead in that regard is definitely going to win out. Because 12 range artillery is just nuts. Crazy damage. I wonder if there's a T4 air plan again. Which could do a ton of damage to Kick here. If you look at his base as well, all these workers will just die. But he might not necessarily be able to wipe the army here. Kick almost pushing the button himself. I think he really needs to. He needs to do it soon. He's going to fly in here with his air. Keep an eye on Raph's. Raph not quite T4 yet. Kick is keeping his air alive there though. That's good. And this pressure is really starting to ramp up. Shield on the right hand side here for Raphael. And he's going to try and snipe these units while Kick's not looking. Does have a little bit less on the ground in terms of mech destroyers, but half of these are not even involved in the fight, and he's managed to snipe these. Kick's getting his air around on the map now, and since he's not T4, he's looking to just do as much damage as he can. Slow down maybe the rate of the upgrades coming out from Raphael. He's a bit torn because he wants to invest all this money in his air, I imagine. Let's check the upgrades that are going. Yeah, fast fighter, shield. So a lot of his resources right now are going to upgrading these rather than reinforcing on the ground, whereas Kick has got a lot of units there. And Kick's just going to try and lure him, run around the map. But he's playing a dangerous game because the fast fighters are going to move a bit faster. But this is probably better than his entire economy being destroyed. And it is letting him get an upper hand here with his forward. And I've still not worked out to just fly right into him. Searching for him. Should get the shield very soon. Shields hits now. Kick needs to do a little bit more. Move his units up a bit more. Oh my god, why have these not got a command center to hide in? Kick's head in his air in the corner. Well, I should be looking for it, but there's going to be a lot of workers dying here. Kick trying to fly away to the other corner now. He just doesn't want to get locked in. Doesn't want to lose his fighters. There's a lot of workers going down. This CC is going to go down, so he's done damage to him as well. He's flying right back to his fort, I think. And if we look at the air bases... Here's T4. Where's this? Really? Right, come on. There's shields. Just doesn't have any Nova just now. Fighter's going to come in here and try and kill as much as he can, but he's been smart. He's built some anti-air mobiles as well. He's figured this is like his whole army now for the next little while. And if we can stop him like killing the units on the ground, that'll really help starve him out. A lot of pressure. The shield's going to go down as well. It's going to have like nothing to do with on the ground. The anti-air mobiles could get upgraded as well. There'd be a lot of pressure, and there'd just be no way for him to touch cannons and stuff. So he's moving out on the map again, looking to do more economic damage because he can't stop the push. And Kick's fighters should be getting upgraded very soon. Shields here, just not getting the fast fighter upgrade. Taking his time. So the grey Wookiees are back to kill more of Kick's workers. Can really use these units getting out. I think you just walk into his base, to be honest. Just sort of hanging around. They've got shields now, no fast fighter as yet. Has it started? No. Kick's really not got much eco, is he? Still hiding here in the CCs. He's going to try and take the fight as just fighters. It's not that expensive. Like even now, you could just sell some ore and get it. 200 carbon, 200 nova. And for what it does, it's such a big impactful upgrade. Try to get into the base. And airmobile should be getting moved up here. Okay, what the hell? Flying into the fighters there and losing them, so he's got no chance of air superiority now, so he's all in on the ground. We could absolutely afford advanced turrets as well. But we're not getting that. We could just push with advanced turrets because Raf's got nothing on the ground. They have no way to stop him. Not even doubly painful for him because it's going to be built in his base. But this part of the eco getting locked out, and I see Raf's trying to sneak around the map now, make secret locations. This is Nova here. Get a command center over here, get found out by the Rancor. And again, going to try and raid into Kick's eco. He's still not interested in advanced turrets. It's a very messy game, this. Looks like it's maybe started, yes. After the fourth Rage's experience, they thought, you know what, better turrets. That's the move. Units again just sort of sitting hitting the turret. I'd really like them to just like take this area away from him, take the ore. The ore would be so good for him, he needs the ore. Think of all the turrets and shields and things, like just it works so well into what he's doing with his strategy. And it increases the likelihood that Raf here can't get a fort, which he sorely needs, because he's going to need his own cannons. Try and clear out anti-air turrets and stuff. So we're 9 range on the art, we've not gotten the heavy art yet or anything like that, and the units are getting picked off here, and that's Kick's not paying attention. Just inviting himself to get like hit from the flank here when he moves in here. Want to stay out here, stay wide. Take advantage of the artillery. Push with shields, push with turrets. Just slowly choke Raphael out. And make his air next to useless. Eco's really hurting though. He's got no Nova income because he lost all those workers that were sitting here with no CC. Just got this. When he wants to spend a lot of Nova on artillery. It's moving up here a little bit, but this is not getting reinforced. And when he starts to lose the mech destroyers here, he's just going to lose everything on the ground. Air here, just looking for angles to kill workers. Because Kick's not making any of his own fighters to deal with it. He's just going to have to rely on the turrets. Losing a lot here at the turret. Oh, he's getting homing, is he? Oh, surprised he could afford that. Raft grabbing up. This is going to be great for him, just having this area that's not going to be under duress. And all these boys grabbing up the Nova here. That's interesting, building up into enhanced bombers. Maybe going to try and just wipe the army. Could work really well. Considering there's no supporting turrets. Kick definitely needs some supporting turrets. There's one going down now. But honestly, I think you get two here, you get a shield, you take all the ore, and then you just, you consider it as resources spent to get this ore. You get your money back. At the same time, he could do a base trade as well with the bombers and the fighters. Which looks like it might be his plan. Just fly in here and bomb the turrets down. I think he's just going to ignore the army. Sit on the hill. Could come in and snipe some more mech destroyers. Kick's very bad at paying attention to these. Like so. Bombers are coming in. Where's the fighters to support them though? Only two. I thought you had more than that. Feels a bit bad if they're just here killing things and no fighters killing units. Killing workers. Here's a cannon though. I think we could have been doing this a little while ago. Grab up more of the land would be great. So bombers coming in. They're going to kill that turret. The turret's gone, so this Nova's now cut off. I lost quite a lot of them though. I think he could only kill another turret. That's about it. Certainly going to cut off his push though, because he needs this Nova, right? So he can make the artilleries, make the cannons. He's getting the range there. Doesn't actually have any artillery though to benefit from it right now. And Raft's just booming up a bit, but it looks like he's maybe going to build a fort or something over here and just make sure he's never on this Nova. Been a real tactical genius this game. Yeah, fortress. What he could do, since he's stuck up here with this push, if he can delay him, he could throw like repeaters, Mounties into his base. Be interesting, and grab all the Nova. Oh, the rally point, he's just flying through the turrets right now. That's horrible. I wonder how long that's been happening. A lot more fighters here. He's got the bombers and he's actually just sending all of those Nova workers from up here down to here. Just running past Kick's troops. Completely blasé about it. Fighting this, punching this crate dragon in the face. And he's going to come over here and steal the Nova. I'd like to see maybe a cannon come out here and try and kill some of the turrets. You just keep the bombers to sort of just guarantee the position. Really weird game. Okay, it's getting a little bit of eco here, but again, not grabbing this ore up. Ore is so important to him. I just hate to see it. It's so good for him. Some ore here as well. You better not know about that. He does. God damn. Get the ore. Make the turrets. Make the forts. Stall. You need to stall. The fighters here are going to kill some of these workers that are absolutely heisting all of his Nova. Turret's helping out here though. Oh, Berserker running in. It's an interesting one. Not the best. It's one of our sort of style points because they're weak as hell. He's not really done anything. This strike mech though, he's getting work done. It's been really annoying, and again running forward and just picking off units with the mech destroyers that he's built up here. Because Kick's just not been reinforcing this position. Kick really struggling here, I think. Fighting on these 3 different fronts. Here's the cannon we talked about, go for the turrets. Or melee mode them. Where are you going? This looks like a Berserker waypoint. Forget what I said. And we're back to Berserkers. The cannon was a mistake, I guess. Now, running past the forward now, just leaving it. Bringing the mech destroyers now here, and you can just reinforce this position. Kick's just going to be killing a house. He's not really doing as much important damage as Raphael's doing to him right now. Great time for him to grab the ore. These units down here. Strikes flying into the back of the base and side here. Kick really having his eco shut down. A lot of workers garrisoned. Even here they're garrisoned. He's not being harassed here at all. What's this about? So like a complete breakdown here. No response to this this masterful move. Stealing the Nova from him. He's bringing the army back now. That's not good. Raph should really take advantage of this and cannon up. Take this position down. Absolutely guarantee his win. Let's get coming here. He needs to kill off these mech destroyers, I guess. Big range. 10+1. A lot of damage to them. No shields for these units, so the AoE damage is just so much. Really ramps up. Cannon now has killed that anti-air turret. I killed this command center as well. A lot of fighters now for Raph. And he's just got so much of the map now as well. Looks like he's grabbing holocrons as well. Just doing all the little things just to get the extras here. And just surge ahead of Kick's eco. I think he could probably wipe the army with his fighters at this point. There's not much anti-air with it. It's been attrition down. You can see the strike mechs are just killing tons of workers everywhere. It's a difference in population. 100 almost. That'll all be workers as well. Cannon here, running into strike mechs, taking a bit of damage. Might actually go down. It's just gonna make it. You want the cannon to try and kill this. Just to repair it. More strikes and stuff flooding in here. This scout's still alive, wow. I remember him. Fast fighters now for Kick, some of them running out on the map. Maybe going to look and try and kill some workers, but the eco is just so online for Raphael now. You can see he's able to diversify his tech tree. He's going to get some mounties as well, and that's just, there's nothing Kick can do against that. Kick's pretty much locked into like going artillery, and he's got barely any resources to do it. He's had all this Nova taken away from him. He's trying to kill these mounties off with the fighters, but it's something like that might be it. There's a second fort now here. It's absolutely fine. Just make sure he never gets this Nova. Kick trapped in this sort of awkward area right now. Where are all the Mounties? Oh, they ran in and died. A bad time. Needs to coordinate his forces a little bit better. Doesn't really need to take a fight though. You can still just wait. He's so ahead. What his Mounties could be doing is like going off and killing this location. I really like if the guy's got so much raz, man. He needs ore. I just like to see there be more CCs here, you know, so it looks like a more healthy split map between the two of them. Because at the moment it's just this, like, there's barely any equal. It's like one here, farms. Kill these straight mates. Be kind of safe as well. A little bit of walling. This whole area would be safe, just the air to worry about. But he would have the ore, right? He's already got such great anti-air upgrades. He's got the homing, he's got the advanced turrets. But there's none of that down here in this location. And these workers are getting chased by the strike mechs, and the air has mirrored them as well. This Raph probably going for like his 5th holocron now at this point. He's found them all. I'm gonna wipe all the workers, I imagine. I don't know what these units are doing. It's a weird little patrol. Mounties are coming in here, destroying a lot of Kick's army. Looks like he overextended to kill the fort. Didn't quite catch that while this is happening, waiting for these guys to kill things, but it's kind of looking like it. Kick does not have a response. His turrets will be going down. He's no units to build against this. He's just fallen too far behind. Dying to the tech switches. So very good move from Raphael there, so congratulations to him on winning this series. That's best of 11. Just have to wait for Kick to accept that and hit GG and resign. Oh, there's still these boys here. They could die as well. So while we wait for that, if you look at the description of the video, you will find the link to the GBG Discord if you want to come on there and speak to like-minded people who enjoy the game and organise games, which can be played on Voobly. So you'll see voobly.com, which is a mirror of the old MSN gaming zone, which is effectively where you were intended to play this game. If you ever look at the game client, it has a sort of a link there from the multiplayer. This was a long time ago, so go to Voobly if you want to play there. What you'll find on Voobly is patches that let the game be in a desktop resolution like this is right now, and just a series of fixes to help the game be more stable. So there's Kick calling GG there. So well played to Raph for winning that. We will have a look at the little timeline here. And that'll be the end of the series. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, give a like to the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.